Welcome back to the brand new Friends Arena in Stockholm, where there's a bit of horse action on the pitch. Unusual, always nice to see a kind of a medieval flavour to the build-up of Sweden versus England here. Steven Gerrard with even more pride than usual, leading out England here in Stockholm, winning his 100th cap tonight. Make no apologies for mentioning that again, and congratulations to him. A magnificent achievement. Familiar faces for Sweden, particularly to fans of Fulham, West Brom, Blackburn and Sunderland. Various ceremonials going on at the moment. It's all in Swedish, so no disrespect to our Swedish viewers, but another quick chance to hear from the lads here. I know from a couple of the Swedish players that I know are saying they're really up for it. They desperately want to win this National Stadium opening and so on.
Well, it's a big night for them. You can feel that in the atmosphere, and I'm sure any game against England's big for any team, and I think certainly opening this stadium, I think they opened the first stadium in 1937. England won 4-0 then. Will they win 4-0 tonight? I don't think so. I think it'd be a tough game for them.
But last time out, the Swedes had a hell of a game, Roy.
Yeah, well, again, they have that mentality. They'll always have a go, even in friendly matches. They're on the back of a great result going to Germany. So England will be in for a tough game tonight, particularly the defenders with a lot of balls in the box, and they'll be very direct.
Just to be clear, they're 4-0 down against Germany. Germany rampant, and somehow got a 4-all out of it.
Fantastic. Shows, again, the mentality of the Swedish and a lot of the Scandinavian teams. They never give up, and again, it'll be a tough night for England. Just
to concentrate English minds, Montenegro have won tonight 3-0. They've gone top of the group. Let's have the national anthems now. And very sweet of the Swedes, I must say, to give us the second verse of our national anthem on behalf of the English nation. I thank them. If you knew the words to that, truly, you are a patriot. England's young team need to be on their full mettle tonight. Sweden want to win here on the opening of their new stadium. We'll get the kick-off very shortly. We're at the brand new Friends Stadium in Stockholm for what promises to be a very tricky test for Roy Hodgson's youthful England lineup. Sweden were beaten by England this summer in Ukraine, but tonight in their brand new stadium, they look likely to pose a greater threat. Let's join Andy Townsend and Clive Tilsley.
The final act of the pre-match build-up is a ceremonial kick-off acted out by the Swedish captain Zlatan Ibrahimovic and the youth player symbolising the future of the game here. Sweden name 8 of the team that finished last month's epic World Cup qualifier in Germany, where they came from 4-0 down to force a draw. They're as close to full strength as possible. 3 new caps in an England team with an average age of just 25. Raheem Sterling becomes only the 3rd 17-year-old to play for England in the modern era. Leon Osman at 31, the 3rd oldest debutant of the last 50 years. Stephen Corker is the other newcomer. England, the guests of honour at a housewarming party. The Friends Arena will be nice when it's finished. It's state-of-the-art inside, although the pitch was only laid 5 days ago and looks like it'll cut up. It's state of construction outside, still 1 or 2 flat packs to open. The infrastructure some way off completion. But a little over half the size of Wembley and a little under a third of the cost. It is the 2nd largest indoor stadium in Europe, and it is indoor tonight. No sense of a chill Swedish night with the roof closed. Temperatures expected to reach 20 degrees inside, and it's half that outside. Steven Gerrard made his England debut amid such luminaries as David Beckham, Paul Scholes, Alan Shearer, Tony Adams, and yes, Gareth Southgate. And his 100th appearance for his country comes 12 years and 168 days on, in a team in which 9 of them haven't got 100 caps between them. Glenn Johnson's the only other player in the starting 11 with more than 30 caps. Well, the arena was officially opened in August. Roxette's topping the bill. Tonight that honour goes to England. Coming soon, Eddie Izzard, One Direction, Iron Maiden, and next week, for 3 nights only, Swedish House Mafia. It is, I think it's fair to say, a multi-purpose facility. An opportunity for 1 or 2 England players to further their claims to a place in a future, which will see a friendly match against Brazil in February before the next 2 qualifiers in March away to San Marino and to Montenegro, who have beaten San Marino 3-0 this evening and now top England's group by 2 points. Well, the christening of a new national stadium for Sweden. England glad to see the back of the old one. They haven't beaten Sweden in Stockholm since 1937. Andy Townsend alongside me. You never know quite what to expect from a friendly. What's the vibe you get about the pitch of tonight's game?
Oh, certainly, Clive. I think this is a proper test, a proper game. Some of those friendlies, you're quite right. Over the years we've seen, not only for England, I've played in many friendlies in my Ireland days where don't always seem to feel like you're getting a lot out of it. I think it's the sort of occasion tonight where England players, particularly the debutants, will learn a lot, and I think even the senior players will realise they're against a very strong-looking Swedish team here, so it's a proper game.
Here is Sweden's captain, an iconic frontman, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, tossed forward towards Matthias Renegi, and a bit of a misunderstanding between Gary Cahill and Joe Hart, but Cahill didn't stand on ceremony and took charge of the situation.
Yep, he made the right decision. I think Joe Hart was a little slow, actually, coming out there. Gary Cahill, not sure if the goalkeeper's going to grab it, dealt with it. Absolutely right.
It was England that were invited to officially open the soon-to-be-demolished Råsunda Stadium nearby back in 1937. They won 4-0 that day. And they failed to win in 7 subsequent visits. That last victory on Swedish soil in 1965 was in Gothenburg. You have to go back to the 30s for the last time England won in the Swedish capital. It was a bruising introduction to international football for Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, he just falls there, doesn't he? I don't know if he just catches the knee of Martin Olsson on his hip, on his side there. Just slipped as he was turning away.
This is a worry for Roy Hodgson, just as it will be for Brendan Rodgers, who has already come to rely considerably on Sterling's presence in the Liverpool team. He's not 18 until next month, remember. Gerrard picking out Welbeck with the free kick. Here's Glenn Johnson. Sterling has a familiar figure partnering him on this right-hand side, his club mate. Leon Osman just trying to touch it on. This is Shellstrom, and Gerrard getting to him. Sterling on the right, Young on the left. Renegi. Nikolic bursting forward. Gerrard inviting Baines to get forward. You can see one or two divots already. Just some of the players' movement across the top of this surface, which, just to repeat, was laid less than a week ago. Cleverly, Welbeck. Tackled by Grönqvist. Cahill to Johnson. England actually went 43 years or more without beating Sweden anywhere. But 2 meetings in the last year, produced 2 England wins, the last in Kiev during the European Championships in June. Surely the most entertaining and exciting fixture we've seen between the two for years. Cleverly linking with Welbeck. And handball given against Danny Welbeck. It did rather rear up at him.
It did, it just sat up a little bit, didn't it, off the surface, yeah. The Swedish team, solid back four, Clive. They've got Shellstrom and Rasmus Elm. Here we see again, it's not the best of clearances from Jonas Olsson.
There's nothing deliberate about it.
Not at all. Yep, solid back four, 2 sitting, 2 wide. They've always produced good, pacey players in the wide areas. Sweden, of course, Ibrahimovic off Renegi.
Grönqvist asking a bit of his goalkeeper there. He's now giving Andreas Grönqvist a piece of his mind. Andreas Isaksson winning cap number 102 this evening. He was keeping Joe Hart out of the Manchester City team 5 years ago. Sterling's opponent is Blackburn Rovers' Martin Olsson. And it's the England man who's been penalised there. Elm. Jonas Olsson of West Bromwich Albion. Four of the Swedish team earn their livings in England. None here in Sweden, strangely enough. We've got Johan Elmander and Oli Toivonen injured for the moment. There is their coach Erik Hamren, but other than their absence, he's gone as strong as he possibly can for this game. There's a clear push there by Seb Larsson of Sunderland.
Yeah, no need there for Seb Larsson to foul Leighton Baines. 1 or 2 dodgy bounces already, Clive. Expected, I suppose, when you consider the surface has only gone down a few days ago.
Johnson. Cleverly. Welbeck. Now Baines. England just getting a feel for the surface. Young. Bundled over by Lustig, although a throw-in has been given. Mikael Lustig, who was the right back in Celtic's wonderful win over Barcelona last week. Cahill's header. Shellstrom skillfully into the path of Ibrahimovic. Straight down the throat of Joe Hart. Gerrard trying to set Sterling on his way.
Well, it was scruffy, scrappy sort of start to the game. Neither team really knocking it about with any purpose so far. Very early, of course, but Hope it improves.
Welbeck winning the ball momentarily and then being pulled back by Granqvist. Looks like Tom Cleverley will be invited to provide the main support to Welbeck down the centre, with Gerrard and Osman sitting tight. Johnson. Osman. Welbeck. This is Leon Osman. It's a smart save by Andreas Isaksson, and Leon Osman settling into international football quickly.
Yeah, little 1-2 there with Danny Welbeck. Never really caught the shot, did he, Leon Osman? But I'm pleased to see him playing for England. He deserves his cap. I think he's a vastly underrated player. Certainly whenever I've watched him at Everton, I think he's been a really, really good player in David Moyes' side, and deserves his opportunity tonight.
The two players who've been capped at an older age in recent times. Kevin Davies only ever played once for England. Steve Bold only ever played twice. So it's probably now or never for Leon Osman to make his mark if he's to figure in the qualifying campaign. Turned 31 in May. Martin Olsen. It's Matheus Ranegi. Now Rasmus Elm. Lustig just brought it under control and then slipped young. Slipped in by Ibrahimovic. Defending by Leighton Baines.
And they had the one in the box. Ranegi was the only one really in there. Kacaniklic was trying to make up a bit of room towards the back post, but well blocked Leighton Baines.
Ibrahimovic. Ranegi. Led by Baines. Granqvist in front of Welbeck. Lustig. Ibrahimovic. Larsen. Ball was out of play. The officials tonight are from Norway. Zlatan Ibrahimovic playing his club football now for Paris Saint-Germain. 12 goals in 14 games so far. But he is currently in the midst of a 2-game suspension for a red card high challenge on the Saint-Etienne goalkeeper earlier in the month. Where do you stand on Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Andy?
You know, we haven't always seen the best of him against English teams in the Champions League, and in some respects that's been a bit of a disappointment. But look, he's a highly decorated player, Clive. What did he win? Eight domestic titles on the bounce.
Certainly finished top of his team finished top of the league.
Yeah, you know, when you've won the amount he has and the amount of moves he's had and for the money that he's gone for, look, he's an extremely talented player.
Ajax, Juventus, Inter Milan, Barcelona, Milan. Now Paris Saint-Germain. Leon Osman to Glenn Johnson. Stephen Corker. Look at the flip of the bounce there as it hits the divot. It's a poor surface. Corker unable to link up with Young. Lustig.
Dear. Passing is really sloppy. I can only assume it's having to watch it and trying to trust the bounce so much. It's having a big effect at the moment on the way players are dealing with the ball.
21st Century Stadium, England's second game in a row under a roof and second game in a row on a terrible surface. Cleverley. Johnson. Cleverley. Found a way out to Raheem Sterling. Headed away by Lustig. It's a tempting cross.
It was a good cross, Clive. It deserved Ashley Young trying to get on the back of that.
Sterling again. Stopped by Elm. Just couldn't quite reach that, but it found its way to Granqvist, and now Shellstrom. Just behind Larsen. Young. Welbeck trying to help it on. Granqvist, who actually played at right back against England in the summer, playing at centre back, but out on that side. Here's the England right back, Glenn Johnson. Sterling. A bit too strong. Ibrahimovic. On goes Kacaniklic. This is Rudnagi. And Gerrard comes between he and his captain. Osman to Cleverley. Welbeck to Sterling. Now Gerrard. Young has called for that. Ashley Young's offside.
Good run, Ashley Young. Yep, well spotted as well by Steven Gerrard. He salutes the pass. It's the right order. It's a good decision. He is a yard offside.
Recently back from injury, Ashley Young. He was actually subbed by Manchester United at half-time at Aston Villa last weekend, but it was only his third game back after a couple of months out. Welbeck will watch that, but Granqvist too, and that's a cheap corner. Conceded.
Very cheap corner. He's got plenty of time in the way. He'd like to think he'd be getting a shout there off of Jonas Olsson or the goalkeeper. Unnecessary to concede a corner like that.
Blaming the lights.
Yeah, I get that. It's just a bad decision, bad play.
England fans down at this end. Also down at this end now, Gary Cahill and Stephen Corker. Gerrard takes. It's towards Cahill. It's flicked away by Jonas Olsson.
He's very much one you have to keep an eye on, isn't he, Gary Cahill? When he goes forward, he has a genuine effect when he's in the opposing 18-yard area. Likes to attack the ball. We've seen a knock a few in for Chelsea already.
Scored against both Tottenham and Manchester United in the last month. Came off Lustig for Young. Welbeck, Young. Welbeck tumbled. There's another one who's been on the fringes of Manchester United's plans in the last month or so. 3 of tonight's starting 11 didn't start for their clubs at the weekend. It's a recurring problem for Roy Hodgson.
Difficult for Danny Welbeck as well, because Javier Hernandez at the moment is electric. He's absolutely on fire with Van Persie and Rooney. It's difficult, but he's always done well when he's had an opportunity in an England shirt.
Gerrard in towards Cahill. Oh, it only needed a touch, and he didn't quite get a touch.
Anything on that, Clive, and it's in the net. You saw the reaction from Isaacson. He was panicking that Cahill might make a contact. In the end, it just flips up and hits him. Good chance. Great shape again on the free kick from Gerrard.
Awkward bounce that for Kolka. And seemed to climb a little. Lustig winning it back, but then losing out to Young. Tackles by Shellstrom. Lustig to Ibrahimovic. Even he is struggling to pass the ball accurately. Kacaniklic. Now Shellstrom. He can strike them with that left foot. And flies by a post, which I think Joe Hart had covered.
Yep. He had runners going beyond him there, Kim Shellstrom, but nothing further in his mind to try and see if he can make Joe Hart into it, force him into a save.
He's left out of the starting lineup in Berlin for that qualifier against Germany last month, but came on at half-time with his team 3-0 down. And the fact they drew 4-4 will tell you something about Shellstrom's influence in the second half of that game. Extraordinary match, 4-0 down with 35 minutes to go against Germany in Berlin. Drew 4-4 with a goal from tonight's number 6, Rasmus Elm, in the 93rd minute. And you could have seen the look on Joachim Löw's face. Here is Elm. Grandqvist. Larsson. Ibrahimovic. It's beyond Renegi. Osman stole it back. Cahill and Colker almost too close together. There's a rather strange atmosphere inside this effectively indoor stadium. I was talking to Roy Hodgson earlier in the day, and he was recalling a match that Switzerland played at the '94 World Cup in Detroit under a roof, and all he could smell all night were hot dogs. It's a very close atmosphere. And what is outside, a very fresh Scandinavian night. Sterling to Baines. Welbeck is clipped by Grandqvist. Did speak to the Swedish officials as to why the roof is closed, and it's really an experiment as much as anything. They have this facility now. Obviously the winters are harsh here, and they just want the players to experience playing under a roof and see if they like it or not. And they'll get the feedback from the players, and when Argentina come here for a friendly in February, they'll note all that. So England are guinea pigs in a way. Young. Johnson to Sterling. Martin Olsen's getting to him very quickly. Here's Mateusz Renegi, and he's got Martin Olsen overlapping to his left. Ibrahimovic waits in the centre. Olsen, Ibrahimovic, another chance, 1-0. Something fitting about the fact that the first goal in the new National Stadium is scored by Sweden's talismanic striker, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. England gave him a second chance.
You know, Glenn Johnson had possession. He knocked the ball into Raheem Sterling and then seemed to run beyond him a little bit. Steven Gerrard also a little bit further forward. Once they get the chance to counter, then they're running straight at the central defenders. It's a good run from Martin Olsen outside Renegi. Now he's just got to find the right pass. Good run from Ibrahimovic. Gets a little bit of good fortune, but that's a really smart finish. It's just a stab, a toe poke right into the roof of the net.
Making his 85th appearance for his country tonight. That is Zlatan Ibrahimovic's 36th international goal. He's only one behind Henrik Larsson now on the all-time lists, in 4th place overall. Hasn't scored many goals against English teams down the years. Over a cracker at the Emirates for Barcelona a couple of years back. Quite a lot of blanks, not that time. It's not his first goal against England either.
You know, for 5 minutes prior to the goal, England just had enjoyed a decent bit of possession without really getting Welbeck and cleverly involved in decent forward positions. And it's a bit too easy, far too easy and unnecessary really, how Sweden countered. Left himself wide open, England down their right-hand side, and they were punished.
Well, 2 mean Movember attempts by England players. Leighton Baines looking particularly dodgy. But dodgy in a good cause. Ibrahimovic. Larsson. This is Lustig. It's towards Renegi. It's in a good area there between defenders and goalkeeper.
It's a good ball. It's a dangerous ball, that is, for Mikael Lustig. Good run from him as well. Can't always pick people out. Sometimes you just have to fire it into areas and expect people to get on the end of it. Nothing wrong with that delivery.
Goal by the man voted Swedish Footballer of the Year for each of the last 5 years. After 20 minutes, as England have to come from behind, they're there to preserve what is still officially an unbeaten record for Roy Hodgson. Osman to his clubmate Baines. Now Welbeck to his clubmate Cleverley. And Gerrard to his clubmate Johnson. Two little combinations, 3 from Liverpool, 3 from Manchester United, 2 from Everton. Cleverley. He's not got enough whip on it to reach anybody.
No, it's nothing delivery, that one from Tom Cleverley. England already have had plenty of comfortable possession, haven't they, just over the halfway line with Gerrard, with Osman and co, but yet to really penetrate the Swedish team in any real fashion.
Gerrard just about managed to waft that into the path of Cahill. Baines looking down the channel for Welbeck, finding only the head of Grundqvist. This is Rasmus Elm. Want to slip it through to Renegi. Very tall, the Ibrahimovic's partner tonight, Matthias Renegi.
Good finish, wasn't it? Just gets a bit of good fortune. Just bounces back, but the finish from there is the clever one, and the finish of an assured striker, very confident as well. Didn't need to engineer it in any way, shape or form from there, just stab it. Just get a good toe on the end of that and it's flown in the net.
He's a big unit too, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but he has the craft and the balance. And a real footballing artist. I say Renegi's partner tonight is 6'5", but he's more of a runner than a climber, really. Gerrard. Johnson was aware that Young was free, but the pass was overhit. I fancy that Young might have been offside anyway.
Those square balls that England are playing across the middle of the park sometimes on an unpredictable surface, you have to be careful. Very easily those can get cut out, or they can be misplaced passes and the opposition are through you. Very similar really what happened with the goal. It's a ball inside from Glenn Johnson to Raheem Sterling. He's unable to resist the challenge and they're countered very quickly.
Eric Hamren's been 3 years in the job. Sweden have only had 4 coaches in the last 20 years, all of them Swedish. Sterling. Some very rugged defending against Raheem Sterling by Martin Olsson. That challenge penalised.
Yep, quite rightly. Olsson had already committed to that challenge, knowing full well he was going to take a slice of Sterling as well.
Osman. It's just behind Cleverley. Larson to L. Cut out by Gerrard. Welbeck's offside. Shellstrom. Cut out by Sterling. Plenty of support here, and he's managed to sweep past Shellstrom, who's gone down injured. This is Raheem Sterling. Now Danny Welbeck. Pull back to Glenn Johnson. Oh, and the touch by Cleverley on the edge of the 6-yard box. There was no flag against him. It was a chance.
He did well, Tom Cleverley. He just gambled. He just put himself in a position where he thinks, I might get on the end of it. You'll see him make the move there, and having got there, he's got to put that in.
Caught Isaacson, by the way. He's still down, the keeper.
Good work from Danny Welbeck, holds it up. Good, excellent run from Glenn Johnson, who decides to take the shot, and Tom Cleverley does everything right. Just gambles, just steps into the hole, just make a bit more contact, and England are back in it.
Need to go for England. He had a couple of chances against Ukraine at Wembley earlier in the season, hit the outside of a post, but he's in an advanced position there where opportunities are going to come his way.
The shot did come at him pretty quick. I mean, it was a full-blooded attempt from Glenn Johnson, but he should still score that.
He's none the worse for wear.
It was better from England, Clive, in the sense of once they got the other side of the Swedish midfield, good run from Danny Welbeck, good support play from Glenn Johnson, and they've got numbers in the box. Roy Hodgson needs to see a bit more of that. At the moment, the tempo of the game when England are in possession, I think, is a bit slow, and it allows the yellow shirts to filter back, and you've got two very solid banks of four to try and get through, and it's not easy.
No free kick. Larsson in towards Renegi. And he got to the front of the queue for a good cross from Seb Larsson, but just couldn't quite direct it in.
And Gary Cahill just does enough, just about. As Renegi, as you say, has them long legs, he stretches for that, and he nearly makes enough contact to give Joe Hart something to think about.
Playing for Udinese in Italy. Been in and out, on and off the bench. Still won so far in Italy. Cleverly. Escaping Larsson, finding Baines. Too close to the keeper. Ibrahimovic with the flick on, but time for Baines. England have played in fits and starts so far. Behind to a Zlatan Ibrahimovic goal after 20 minutes. Kacaniklic. Shellstrom into Larsson. Baines going every inch of the way with him, but not dispossessing him. Renegi. Kacaniklic. Martin Olsen is forward. Ibrahimovic. Glimpse of goal for Fulham's Alex Kacaniklic.
Decent play from Seb Larsson, made a good run from the right side and held the ball up, kept it, and then allowed others to come and join in. Ibrahimovic in the end with the shot from some distance.
It's his first start for his country tonight. Welbeck doing really well. Sterling. Cleverly had made a great run into space to Young's left, but he couldn't quite climb high enough. Polka did, though. Strong against Renegi there. Osman winning it. Now Young. Here's Sterling. Walker's got a problem called Ibrahimovic here. Sweden got a throw.
First touch wasn't quite good enough, and credit Ibrahimovic is all over him like a rash there, trying to force the error.
Kacaniklic. Oh, and they got in a real tangle. Huxton particularly well. Ibrahimovic though. Renegi! Might just have sat up, but it was a clear chance for Mateusz Renegi of England's, a problem of England's making.
That's sloppy. That really is sloppy there. I think when Gary Cahill's underneath that, I think he's got to deal with it. Just ducking out the way of that, whether Joe Hart's calling for it or not. In the first minute, he did exactly the same and just thought, look, I'm going to argue about it after. I'll deal with it. That one, he tries to duck out the way, and Renegi should score. That's sloppy from England.
Sensational save by Hart in the midst of all that. got started as an attacking unit yet, England.
Nothing really going forward. A little skirmish here or there, but it's been pretty low-key from England so far.
It's one of those nights when the substitutes might be licking at their lips at the impact they could make in the second half. England are bound to use all 6 permitted. Ibrahimovic. That was too much of Renegi. It's entirely between Corker and Baines. Ibrahimovic to Renegi, surrounded. Sterling, that's cleverly played round the corner for Johnson. Space for Young. Ashley Young. It's deflected behind by Grandfist for an England corner.
That's better, a little bit more intent. As soon as Ashley Young picked that ball up, he's stepping over, he's trying to commit Lustig and just wants to deliver something in the box.
Young with a corner. Put away by Renegi as far as Gerrard. Oh, there's a chance, Cahill, but it's offside. Flag was up quickly.
Yep. Steven Gerrard does well, actually, I think. As that ball's coming to him, he might be thinking, if I can have a touch and get a shot. In the end, it sits up. He can just just help it back into the pot there. That's very tight. Danny Welbeck's certainly offside. Gary Cahill's close.
Sweden made a successful start to World Cup qualifying. Successful of a little fraught. Both Kazakhstan and the Faroe Islands gave them alarms. Sweden trailed in the Faroes with 25 minutes to go, but they won both of those games, and they came from 4 down in Berlin last month. Take that miracle point off Germany. Sterling's a fabulous pass for Young. Ashley Young crossed in towards Welbeck. That's a terrific equaliser for England. Snapped up by Danny Welbeck from a searching cross from Ashley Young after a tremendous pass from Raheem Sterling. Praise for all three. England on terms with 10 minutes of the half remaining.
That's better all round, isn't it? As you say, excellent ball out from Sterling. Once again, better play from Ashley Young. It's a brilliant cross. It's such a great ball in. Danny Welbeck, as soon as he recognises Ashley Young's picking it up, he knows he just wants to try and find a yard. Now, give me something to attack, and it's absolutely perfect. Delivered on a sixpence, and he can't miss that. That's a really well-worked goal all round from England.
Danny Welbeck scored 4 times this season, and 3 of those goals have been for England. The only surprise is that he didn't backheel it in. Remember that fabulous winner against Sweden in Kiev in the summer. Offside here, Ibrahimovic.
Just better all round though, Clive. Just a bit of care. The initial pass from Sterling out to Ashley Young was a good one. And just being a bit more positive, just a bit more life in it all round. It's the offside decision there. Ibrahimovic just a yard. That's where England have got to keep it at now.
He scored 5 times in total now for Roy Hodgson's England. Looking for a free kick there. Jonas Olsson away. Renegi. Hauled to the ground by Gary Cahill. Strong arm stuff from the Chelsea man. Martin Olsson. Cahill taking responsibility this time. Kacaniklic losing out. Osman, good pass to Sterling. England starting to find a little bit of rhythm and fluency. Raheem Sterling bundled over by Martin Olsson. Free kick England.
The referee should have a word with Martin Olsson as well. It's 2 or 3 times there. Raheem Sterling's got the other side after a really smart little ball from Leon Osman. Nothing challenge for me, that one from Olsson, and I think the referee should warn him, should say to him, any more of them, it's a yellow card.
He was born in Jamaica. He's one of 4 players in this England squad who have dual nationalities, whose international futures are not officially settled. I know Roy Hodgson is confident all 4 will opt for England. He's made it pretty clear, and he wants to know. Should be a pride in the shirt. Gerrard with the free kick. It's bundled in, and Steven Corker has got a debut goal for England, who lead now in Stockholm.
Amazing turnaround.
20 years of age, Steven Corker of Tottenham Hotspur scored against the English champions at the weekend, and now marks his international debut with a goal.
Another good delivery, isn't it? It's another really interesting, inviting ball from Steven Gerrard. Difficult one for the goalkeeper. Should he be coming to get out? I don't think he can. And again, Corker just takes a chance. He just thinks, if I can find a little bit of space and just throw myself at it, who knows? And he gets himself a goal. Well done, sir.
2 goals in 3 minutes from Danny Welbeck, 21 years of age, and Steven Corker, 20 years of age. And England have come from behind. It's just been indicative of an improvement in their play in the last 10 minutes or so. Renegi here had a good chance at 1-0. Shellstrom with a forward run here, Osman tracking him.
I just think England have got it further forward, Clive, and then play from there, and that's sensible on a tricky surface. Just seeing that, the flight on that is perfect, isn't it, from Gerrard? It's a big swoosh from Gronqvist. He misses it completely. Big air shot, and Steven Corker keeps his eye on it and just forces it home, bundles it home.
Score with a thumping header against Manchester City on Sunday. And that time slid it in from another devilish set-piece delivery from Steven Gerrard. It really is a speciality of his. Sterling. Cleverly to Gerrard. Couldn't quite get enough swing on that one for Welbeck. Larson. Ibrahimovic just chested that down under pressure from Cahill. Kacaniklic. Ibrahimovic! They don't want to give him another chance like that. It was actually very good defending by Corker, who did enough. It's a corner.
The original control, you're right, was fabulous from Ibrahimovic. And Kacaniklic picks it up and just knocks it back. It's a difficult one to hit that with your right foot like that, letting that come across your body. Just enough connection, wasn't it, from Corker to divert it over the bar. Maybe one for your left foot to just swing it a bit.
Sebastian Larsson with a corner. Don't think Hart got a touch. Goal kick given.
It's like he was trying to get something on that, wasn't he, Joe Hart? Never really getting there.
Well left, keeper. Johnson. Sterling into the path of Welbeck. Throw has gone Sweden's way. The evening started with 2 verses of our national anthem. There's another. Ibrahimovic. Shellstrom. It's a good ball that in towards Renegi, and well defended again by Cole Cruz, having a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, Leighton Baines looking at the linesman there. I think he felt that the run from Renegi may have just been offside. Flag didn't go up, stayed down.
Swedish throw. Gerard beating Ibrahimovic to the punch. Jonas Olsen. It's found Renegi. Martin Olsen. Well seen by Welbeck. Gerard to Sterling. Just couldn't get it between the legs of El. Good work by Sterling. Martin Olsen managed to get beyond him. England was sure it was out. Sweden have a free kick.
Yeah, and Johnson was actually appealing. He felt, I think, the ball had gone out of play. Not so sure. Can't see better here, but that's the little push with his left arm, and he concedes the free kick. Seb Larsson's decent at this, whipping balls into dangerous areas as well. So England need to be on their guard here.
Both of the Swedish centre-backs are forward. Lustig's up there too, through the back four. Larsson in towards Renegi. Well defended.
Was well defended, quite excellent whip on that delivery from Seb Larsson. Renegi not quite able to just any sort of little flick on that. Would have been dangerous.
Olsen chipped nicely into the path of Sterling. Here's Young. Swept towards Welbeck. Lustig with his head to the ball. And Rundqvist turned it out for a throw-in.
Good play, Raheem Sterling once more. And he's picked it up and run beyond the Swedish midfield. He's picked a sensible option and a good pass. And once again there, England a chance to counter.
Cleverly. Gerard. Why ever not? The night deserves something special from Steven Gerrard. I suppose there's a chance that he might be one of the players substituted at half-time. Jack Wilshere and Wilfried Zaha among the more interesting England options from the bench. It's going to be the one added minute here.
Strange 45 minutes in many ways. Said low-key at times, passing. Unfortunately, as Danny Welbeck has just done there, had been ordinary, but England deserve credit for being behind and finding a way back.
Lustig. Larsson. Grunqvist. Managed to elude cleverly and find Rasmus Elm. Now Mateusz Renegi, but the ball eluded him. Well, England took some time to find their feet on a surface which even the most talented feet have found a challenge. They fell behind to the very talented feet of Zlatan Ibrahimovic after 20 minutes, but England have made themselves at home since then. And Danny Welbeck with a very snappy finish, and Steven Colker on his debut will score the 2 goals that have enabled England to come from behind. We'll be hearing from the 3 wise men, well, 4 with Adrian, in just a moment. But at half-time in Stockholm, it's Sweden 1, England 2, don't go away.
deal with managers, hasn't he? To, you know, how long players can play for and so on. But he'll want to preserve his unbeaten record.
Well, he will, and he's coming back to Sweden where he had a lot of success as a manager, and that would add an edge to Roy's feelings.
Let's rejoin Andy and Clive for the second half.
International friendlies are under fire and under threat. FIFA are to scrap the August date from 2014. Arsene Wenger questioned the value of November games this week when, you know, there are no qualifiers until March. This will actually become a qualifying date under the new calendar from 2014, when there'll be a maximum of 18 internationals in any two-year cycle. But and the friendly against Italy in Bern in August, it helped Roy Hodgson blood. Tom Cleverley, Michael Carrick returned to the fold there, Leighton Baines. They are useful exercises.
They can be. I think they can be if they're respected properly. I tend to agree with the guys there at half-time. I think when you make too many changes, then all of a sudden it can become a bit disjointed and the game stop-start, and you're not quite getting enough out of it. But I think Roy Hodgson's done the right thing here. Keep this England team the same. Got themselves back into a game, to try and regain control of it, and then make some more changes.
He's the only substitute. Safari, the new left back, in towards Renegi. It's a straight swap left back for Sweden. Number 17, Behrang Safari, coming on in place of Martin Olsson. Safari's actually been the regular left back since the Euros. Plays with Anderlecht in the Champions League.
Been a strange atmosphere in here, Clive, hasn't it? I thought, as we were preparing for the game, I looked around and it was absolutely packed to the rafters, and I thought it'd be jumping. It's a very conservative sort of atmosphere.
Swedish people are wonderfully polite. Young. Welbeck trying to burst clear. He's got Sterling waiting at the far post. Waiting for reinforcements. Ashley Young. Danny Welbeck. Stephen Gerrard. Space for Leighton Baines now to pick across. In towards Welbeck. There's Leon Osman stretching at the far post. I think Welbeck had the chance.
Good play. Good football from England. They kept it well, didn't they? I thought Danny Welbeck might have crossed earlier for Sterling, but he came back out. Some patient football. Eventually coming to Leighton Baines. Good delivery. Dangerous ball towards the near post. Any sort of flick there, goalkeeper Isaacson in massive trouble.
Didn't do a lot wrong, Welbeck. Just couldn't quite catch up with it. Baines has kept that in, has he? No. England's next game is the best part of 3 months away. They face Brazil at Wembley on February the 6th. They face them again in Rio in June. The next two qualifiers, as Adrian said, both away from home in March against San Marino, and then Montenegro in Podgorica, a fixture which at the moment is between the top two teams in the group. Gragfist into Ibrahimovic, terrific control. England throw though. Good education for Kolka playing against Ibrahimovic. Cleverly finding Osman. Now Baines. Osman just caught by Shellstrom.
Good feet from Leon Osman. Very tight in there. Shellstrom's very close as soon as he received it, but excellent first touch and kept it well.
England throw. Cleverly. Welbeck. Baines. Very skillful from Cleverley. And again, it's found a way out to Young. Dispossessed by Shellstrom. Free kick has gone Sweden's way for the challenge by Welbeck on Granqvist.
Just the hand, I think, just across Granqvist's face there.
And then they got it back with Baines. Here's Welbeck. Sterling. Playing Johnson in behind Sweden. Osman. Good turn. Leon Osman. Pull it back, but Gerrard's there. And the kick.
Wriggling well there, wasn't he, Leon Osman, in a tight little space. Just couldn't stand the cross-up. Does actually drop for Steven Gerrard, but Olsen it is who's there just to smother it.
Got more than a couple of years without scoring for England. Steven Gerrard, it would be great if he could mark. It's a milestone night for him with a goal. Gerrard's corner. Led by Jonas Olsen as far as Glenn Johnson. Tom Cleverley's onside. And here's Gerrard, both centre-backs still forward. Swung in towards Kolker again. Handed away by Lustig.
Good ball there.
Renegi lost out.
Too easy, bounces off Renegi, doesn't it? He's got to get a lot better at holding the ball up for his team and allowing them to get up the field a bit. For a big man, it's coming off him far too easy for me.
Sterling was fouled. He's enjoyed his night more and more as it's gone on. Raheem Sterling.
You know, he's done very well this season, Clive. Whenever I've watched him, it's not easy for Raheem Sterling, being pitched into the Liverpool team where they are at this moment in time. I think he's done himself proud playing for his club, and I think he's done okay again here tonight. Whenever he's picked it up and he's used the ball intelligently.
Gerrard has found Osman. That's a smart save by Isaacson at his near post.
Got in some good areas there, hasn't he, Leon Osman, a few times now. Decent ball from Gerrard, good touch, and instead of cutting it back this time, he's just firing that straight towards the near post, and it's a good hit as well. Goalkeeper has to be on his guard and gets down and smothers it.
Another Movember moustache on the way. It must be all the rage at Everton. I see David Moyes with one there. Young. Hit away by Renegi.
I think Fellaini needs a beard as well, don't you, with that hair?
That's a terrific pass from Baines. England throw. Picked up where they've left off here, England.
Started the second half much better than they started the first 45 minutes.
Sterling now on the left-hand side. Quite had that under control. There's all the zest and enthusiasm you'd expect from a young player in Raheem Sterling, but there's an intelligence in him already, even at such a tender age. Osman. Here is Sterling. Kicked in towards Osman, headed away by Jonas Olsen. Gerrard. Just about found Baines. Crossed in low for Osman. Good turn. Shot blocked. Another England corner.
Just wondered there for a minute whether Leon Osman had just seen the run from Tom Cleverley as well, again to protect the ball, trying to get himself half a yard to get a shot away. But much better. England definitely in control. Now it's about concentration, certainly for the guys at the back. And
Gerrard to Baines. Sterling onside. Oh no, flag has gone up very belatedly.
yeah, it's the right call as well. I mean, he's well offside. Just having a look and waiting.
Sometimes, you know, the assistant referees are looking right down the margins. They almost miss the guy who's 5 metres beyond the last defender. Shellstrom inviting Safari to get forward, but he won't catch it with that. Young cleverly made a fantastic run. Young was aware of it.
Spotted it, just overhit the pass. And that's better from England, what they have done at the start of the second half, just mixing it up a little bit, being a little bit more direct, playing in behind the Swedish team, turning them round, and you can start playing short now and again. Just a bit of variation in their players, suiting them much more.
I mean, only 4 of tonight's starting 11 started in Poland in England's last qualifier, so it's a much changed team, and they have taken a bit of time to find their places in it. And they have now. Welbeck to Gerrard. Baines. Sterling. Here's Gerrard. It's well struck. Isaacson pins it away. Well, there goes Stephen. Sterling. Baines is arriving. Instead, it's Cleverly. Now Baines. Offside.
Yeah. But much sharper, brighter all round. The touch is better, isn't it? The pass appreciation to each other is crisper and more accurate. This is the shot from Steven Gerrard. Plenty of swerve on that. Goalkeeper could have maybe took it with his hands, but decides to just beat that away.
The late Billy Wright will be the next target in Gerrard's sights. Number 100 for Gerrard tonight. Billy played 105 times for England. Kacaniklic. England looking pretty assured at both ends of the field at the moment.
And certainly it's the Swedish team right now that need to find a few answers and a few solutions to the problems in front of them.
Shellstrom. Kacaniklic. Safari. Kacaniklic rolled back to Elm. Here's Ibrahimovic. Shellstrom. Rather than away from Cahill. Hart came to claim it. Corker away. Hit by Larson. Never quite got over it. And Joe Hart feels he was fouled.
Well, we'll see. And certainly Renegi, we know, is a big lad. The ball's hanging over the goalkeeper. It's not the best of headers there, certainly from Cahill. And I don't think Renegi does anything wrong. I think he's fully entitled to go for that. He does. And Joe Hart doesn't really get enough on it. The shot in the end from Seb Larsson, he's struggling to keep it down, no problem.
England have started to strip off substitutes, and it's like Daniel Sturridge maybe the first we see. Free kick. Sterling and Young seem to have swapped sides for good now. Raheem Sterling asking for the ball there, even though he's got a defender right next to him, trusting his control. That's a foul by Cahill. And Jack Wilshere is being readied too. Ibrahimovic, away by Kolka.
Just found a good space there, didn't he? Ibrahimovic, the ball from Kacaniklic, just a little bit behind him.
Shellstrom. Elm with the burst from deep, clever backhander towards Renegi, really good defending by Leighton Baines. It's better from Sweden. Catch Niklic. Engaging 3 England defenders, but unable to find a way through. Baines has started 5 of the last 6 internationals now. He said that he feels far more a part of things. Looks at home in international football. It was a little rash. And here come the first of the changes. And Shellstrom will give way to the veteran Anders Svensson on from Southampton. Coming on for cap number 135 at the age of 36. Sweden's most capped outfield player, Anders Svensson. Ashley Young is giving way. Daniel Sturridge will come on in his place. And here's a moment that England have been waiting for 18 months or so. The return to international action of Jack Wilshere in place of Tom Cleverley. He had 4 starts in a row in national colours at the beginning of last year, the last of those in June of 2011. Larson with the free kick. Headed away by Welbeck. And Jack Wilshere quickly on the ball. And quickly winning a free kick.
That's good to see Jack Wilshere back. His progress is halted a wee bit by that sending off at United, but good to see him back amongst the international setup. Important player for England.
I think by his own admission, he's become a better and better player with each month he's been out, because both Arsenal and England have missed him. But it is worth remembering, this is only his 6th cap. And he is just 20 years of age. Sturridge backing in. It's like Welbeck's come out to the left-hand side. Maybe Sturridge will play up front.
I think they can rotate and they can swap that around a bit, Clive. But yeah, at the moment, Danny Welbeck has come out to the left side. He's capable of that. That's not a problem to him.
Ibrahimovic, that's a terrific header for Renegi. He's got Kacha Niklic arriving. Not the best of passes.
No. Behind him, wasn't it? Just slowed everything up, giving England a chance to recover. Great leap from Ibrahimovic.
Svensson. Lustig. Svensson into Ibrahimovic. Tell Corker off. The defender did just about enough. It's a goal kick.
I'm surprised at the finish, because the way that Ibrahimovic received the ball and resisted the challenge from Corker was really good. Just a touch and then he drags it past him. Having done all of that, that's poor from him. Very difficult. Corker's tight and he's hanging on to him. He doesn't want to give him any sort of space. Just felt Ibrahimovic, in the end, could have provided something more.
Ibrahimovic has got on the dangerous side of Corker. It was a rather extravagant finish. Didn't need me to tell him he could have taken a touch.
Could have took 2 or 3, Clive. Corker actually makes the header, and then Ibrahimovic just stays behind him. All of a sudden, a simple pass over the top from Seb Larsson. He's in. He could have took 2 or 3 or 4 touches and brought Joe Hart out, maybe skipped past him and rolled it in. For a player of his quality, that's a real waste.
That's a terrific header from Welbeck. Sturridge. By Granqvist. Corker did well then. Safari. Svensson. Ibrahimovic letting it run. This is Lustig. Ranegi stretching.
It's a poor ball from Lustig. Got himself in a great position. Had lots of yellow shirts in the box. Delivery from the fullback not good enough.
Larson. They're away by Cahill. Osman's just kept things ticking over. He looked like he's been there for ages.
He's done well his second half. He's got into some really good forward positions, Leon Osman. Naturally now he'll probably play just off of Daniel Sturridge in and around him. Let Jack Wilshere play a little bit deeper with Gerrard.
There's a lot of people expecting Gerrard and Wilshere to be a combination for England in the years ahead. They're getting a look at it tonight. Clear foul by Grungfist there on Sturridge.
It's a ball he can't win. It's a stupid challenge. Unnecessary to concede a free kick there. It's perfect for England with a lead. Every time the game is broken up now, they can just take their time, restart and gather themselves and go again.
Wilshere to Johnson. And now to Sterling. And now Glenn Johnson, who is onside here. Cut back towards Osman. Lustig did just about enough. Steven Gerrard! Far away.
That is a tempting one to hit first time. Again, you could argue whether Steven Gerrard takes a touch. I think any midfield player coming onto something like this is always going to be tempted to hit that one first time on the full, on the volley. Doesn't quite get it, does it? It's a little bit cramped, really, there, trying to get over the top of that.
Back towards Wilshere. Graffi's got the ball, but he came all the way through Wilshere to get it. Yellow card by a referee who's really a little reluctant to hand out cards tonight. That is the first.
He's actually given that card for dissent more than the challenge. It's a lovely flick from Danny Welbeck. He does that really well into Wilshere. That was the little flick, and you'll see Grongfist plays the ball. Probably does. It's one of those challenges where he sort of takes everything in front of him, but gets in up for the ball. He's frustrated and he's chipping away at the referee, and that's why he gets the card.
Am I bothered? Throw-in was the worst England were going to get from that. Gerrard's ball arrowed towards Sterling. Foul this time by Sterling. Not shy at making a challenge.
No, it's that one again, though. It's a straight ball into him, and then if people run beyond him, you have to be careful. You know? Just do with a little bit of support there, Raheem Sterling, just someone to bounce it back to straight away. Glenn Johnson's first thought, whenever the ball goes into anybody in front of him, he just gets beyond them naturally. Got to make sure that people have got good possession of the ball, they're taking care of it.
Jonas Olsen. Out by Osman. No free kick. Sterling caught in possession. Safari. Kacaniklic. He's found a cross. He's found the hands, safe hands of Joe Hart.
One or two crosses from Kacaniklic. Not really found a target yet.
Baines out muscling Larson. Johnson. Osman. Here's Gerrard. Osman had just tiptoed beyond Grundqvist, but not quite the pass he was anticipating. Johnson managing to deal with that. Ibrahimovic. Svensson. Safari. Kacaniklic. Ibrahimovic trying to toy with Osman, who was having none of it. This is Wilshere. Welbeck and Sturridge ahead of him. Takes the ball so well. Ushers Baines forward. Gerrard fired in at Welbeck, who was just on his heels.
Yeah, it's a hard one for Danny Welbeck. That it really was fizzed at him, wasn't it? It was just sort of on the half turn, really.
The clutch of England substitutes imminent. I think Roy Hodgson does deals as such with club managers, but Arsenal Spurs 12:45 Saturday lunchtime. You have to be mindful of the stresses and strains on club players with a fixture so close to this Wednesday night date. Ranegi. Elm. Ranegi. This is Lustig. And headed behind by Johnson.
Yeah. The right course of action from Glenn Johnson, unaware, not really sure. Just see the danger out.
And here come the changes. Mikael Lustig is first to go. It's a change at centre-back, a straight swap. And Thompson goes in Serie A with struggling Bologna. And we're going to see Tobias Sana of Ajax, who has played some Champions League football this season. Skillful winger. Here come the England changes. Are they going to wait for the corner? I think they are. They're going to wait to defend the corner first. This is Jenkins, Shawcross and Huddleston. Away by Corker. Elm. Oh, wide.
Yep, sat up nice for him, didn't it? Leon Osman it was, who I think was just trying to smother the shot.
The first caps for numbers 12 and 16. Ryan Shawcross, the Stoke skipper in the middle there. Carl Jenkinson, his clearance to play only came through this morning. Stephen Corker can start to think about the North London derby. Shawcross will now partner Cahill at the heart of the defence. Glenn Johnson will give way to Carl Jenkinson. And Stephen Gerrard has given the captain's armband to Joe Hart, I think. And it's a return to international football after 2.5 years off the England scene for Tom Huddleston of Tottenham Hotspur.
Congratulations to Steven Gerrard. It's a great achievement, 100 caps. And a top player. One of the few, I think, English players in recent time that could, had he have wished so, gone and played for the very best teams abroad. Decided to stay with the team that he loves most, and big night for him tonight. And she should be well proud of his achievements. I'm sure his family are.
Huddleston. Run back by El Ibrahimovic. Kaca Nikolic. Seb Larsson's now playing at right back for Sweden.
He's playing full back. And Thompson's alongside Jonas Olsson. Sana is out here on the right-hand side. He's a dangerous player. He's very quick. He'll give Leighton Baines something to think about for the remainder of the game.
Antonsson. Svensson. Under away by Raheem Sterling. And Jenkinson, his first international touch down the line. Safari. Ibrahimovic. Sana trying to get inside Baines. Welbeck. Elusive run. He's got good support here. And just trying to touch it off for Sturridge. Wilshere is an option too.
Good run from Danny Welbeck. I think he could have kept going, you know. He's looking for a little 1-2 to bounce something into Sturridge. Antonsson was the centre half he was faced. I think he could have just kept going there and run past him as well.
Cahill's foul. Kaca Nikolic. Svensson. Oh, here's Ibrahimovic! Drill through Joe Hart with unstoppable power by Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He scored for the second time tonight, and Sweden are on terms.
Absolutely out of nothing. Whether or not England, because they've made changes, have just drifted and just slept a little bit, I'm not so sure. Let's credit the finish, the movement from Ibrahimovic. He just pushes Cahill away, then he just short-cross away and just spins off of him. And it's a stunning volley. That is a brilliant spot from Svensson. The control is worthy of one of the top strikers in the world, and the finish is magnificent. Ryan Shawcross has only been on for about 30 seconds. Welcome to international football. You switch off for a split second and the very best will hurt you.
And his 37th international goal draws him level with Henrik Larsson in third place overall. And Sweden's record goal scorers. Look at the slow motion replay to Joe Hart, and he favours it. Was hit with such venom.
Right. That's a great strike. He gets to most things, Joe Hart, that are knocked at him, but he can't save the lot. That's a really good goal.
Well, he got something on it, but he just couldn't keep it from flying beyond him into the net.
Get tight to Svensson, a little pocket of space, didn't he? A little bit of room to pick his head, and Shawcross is tight, very tight to Ibrahimovic, and he just shrugs him to one side, bang.
Jenkinson. Jonas Olsson. Wilshere to Sterling. That's a foul by Anders Svensson. Well, England were in front for the best part of 40 minutes. And they find a way to push their noses decisively in front in these closing 12 minutes or so. Huddleston with the free kick. And there is a flag up. There's a header from Sturridge. I can't believe he was offside.
Great control. Perfect control. I felt he wasted an opportunity earlier on the half volley, didn't he, about 10 minutes ago? But that one, he gets it perfectly. Just clatters in, I think, to Gary Cahill after he's knocked it in.
can bet your life he's thinking, opening night,
Yeah.
National Stadium,
Fancy
me,
it.
hat-trick, surely not.
Technique was brilliant, wasn't it? That all-important first touch sets it up, and it's took all the pace out of the delivery from Svensson on his chest. Wonderful.
It's a fabulous pass from Huddleston. This is Welbeck. Couldn't quite get enough pace on the cross. Rice has kept it in. This fella can pass, Huddleston. Welbeck's onside. Osman. Neat feet. Yard either side of Eason would have been interesting.
Half a dozen times Leon Osman's got into some really clever little positions, as you would expect from him. Takes good care of the ball, doesn't he, when it's given to him in tight areas, tight spaces.
Does that hit the roof?
Yeah, it has, yes, hit the screens.
Oh no, it's hit the strings of the camera, which hovers from the suspended from the roof. Come on, amateur referees, what do we do now? I guess a bounce ball. Looking through the laws for ball hits camera cable. Will be rule 432, subsection D, bounce ball. Andreas Isaksson goes into the next pub's quiz. Joe Hart lost his footing when he kicked that. Then it's a perilous pitch. It really is. You see it moving beneath the players' feet at times. Behram Safari.
It does affect your game if you don't trust the surface, if you're not sure, sort of bounce your face in, and when you go to plant a foot to move away from somebody, whether or not it's going to give way underneath you. It's difficult.
Sterling. Remember, he's one of the 4 players in the England squad who still have options to play for another country. Roy Hodgson has now fielded 3 of those 4 this evening. Free kick has gone Sweden's way. Playing here tonight doesn't change their positions in any way. They would have to play competitive minutes for England before they can be officially claimed by England. Osman getting a ticking off. Sweden getting a free kick, and guess who's placed it? Crowd as animated as they've been at any stage during the evening. There's a possibility of a Zlatan Ibrahimovic hat-trick. Well hit, it's in! The headline act on opening night is inevitably Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Hit with too much force. Barely a smile breaks his famous features, but pick this one out.
There's no way that one should be beaten, Joe Hart, Clive. That's his side. That can't go in that corner. You know, I don't think that's a particularly special strike either. I've seen him hit him a lot better. Yes, it's bouncing in front of the goalkeeper, but that shouldn't be beating him there, no way. That's one when you're in the wall or as an outfield player, you look around, you think your goalkeeper's going to get that, he'll save that.
Well, they gave him the stage, spent a lot of money to build this stage for him. And Ibrahimovic has produced a star's performance. 3 goals. And England, for the first time under Roy Hodgson, the possibility of a defeat. And guess who's on now to try to do something about it? One Wilfried Zaha with Crystal Palace. Born in Ivory Coast, came to London as a child. Championship player who's really established himself in the last couple of years. Sweden are bringing on Pontus Jansson of Malmo, who's a centre-back for only his second cap. Andy, I know you're English-born and obviously an Irish captain. Was there a time when you had a choice to make between Ireland and England?
No, I didn't have a choice to make. And my own take on all this is these guys out there tonight that have pulled on the shirt for England, surely they want to commit to that. Surely they want to give that every opportunity. They want to try and make it in an England team, in an England setup, whether it be at a World Cup or a European Championship, whatever. I mean, I'm hearing a lot about the options that are available to Sterling and to Zaha and people like that. Well, for me, you know, you pull the colours on of England, you should stay with it, stick with it, and make it a permanent one.
Both have come through the England junior teams. Jenkinson, in fairness, did play for the Finland under-21 side, but he probably at a time when he didn't anticipate the progress which has made him in England possible. Sturridge. This is Baines. And Sturridge. Corner kick. Short cross forward. Hill's in there too. In towards Welbeck. Come back to Huddleston. Now Zaha. Robbed though by Sana. Ibrahimovic. Body check by Wilshere, who'll get a yellow card. Getting away from England, this.
Strange, England very much in control in the second half and at the start in any way. But again, like I said at half-time, we credit England for the way they came back. Sweden gradually have grown and have got better. And they do have a bit of quality in Ibrahimovic. They really do.
Sana. Ibrahimovic. Stopped by Huddleston. Now Ibrahimovic fouls Wilshere. He wants to know if it's possible for the Swedish captain to have a yellow card. England say officially unbeaten under Roy Hodgson. I know there was the penalty shootout defeat during the Euros in his first 11 games. Only one England manager has ever gone through his first 12 games unbeaten. Graham Taylor. Roy Hodgson needs an equaliser from somewhere in the next couple of minutes to match that achievement. Baines. That's terrific for Sturridge. Pulled back towards Welbeck. Osman.
Lots of traffic there, wasn't there, for Leon Osman to try and wriggle through once more. Antonsson it is who goes to ground, and just there you wondered whether one of those challenges was going to send Leon Osman flying and concede a penalty.
Yeah, I don't like to hear myself saying he could have gone down, but he could have gone down. Renegi's night is over. Pontus Wernbloom is actually a defensive midfield player who's going to come on in his place. Jenkinson seeing out the danger. Ibrahimovic. Elm Kacaniklic, Sana. Kacaniklic just run away from him to Huddleston. Oh, he's taking a chance there. Well, back to Sturridge. England throw.
So tight there, they want to try and get that out of there if they can. 2 or 3 passes in a tight area, then try and move it and get out the other side. Cole Jenkinson's waiting, he's quick and he's energetic.
4 added minutes for England to find an equaliser. They've only been behind for 20-odd minutes tonight. For the throw. Hart's going to have to deal with that. Hasn't quite done so. Ibrahimovic, surely not. Oh! Now that is brilliant.
Wow.
That is truly exceptional. You've got something to talk about tonight, folks. You've just seen a stunning goal from Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's got 4 tonight, and England are beaten.
That's an incredible finish. I said at the start, I've seen flashes and bits from this guy against all of the English teams in the Champions League over the year. But I think in witnessing that, you've just seen something very, very special. That is an incredible goal. Because as soon as Joe Hart does that, I'll tell you what, now he's already thinking, I'm going for this. Bang. Fabulous athleticism and the quality, the contact on the ball is amazing. I'll take me out off to him there. That's an incredible goal.
Guess what the boots are for? He got a yellow card for taking his shirt off.
And with a body like that, I think it's worth a yellow card.
There's hours of reading on those tattoos.
Incredible goal. And the nature of the goals that England have conceded have been very poor. Very poor, but that's an amazing, amazing finish.
Sturridge. Baines. Isaksen's lost that. Smuggled away by Safari. And with a bit more conviction by Janssen. Well, Eric Hamren's job is simply to pick him. Now, Wilfried Zaha. Brought down by Safari, was he? No, goal kick given.
Doesn't get it. It looked like there was a nudge. It's not the greatest work from the goalkeeper, is it? But how much has he still got to do? He's facing the wrong way. He's 35 yards out. Just an incredible goal. There are very few players in the world that would have even attempted that, never mind pulled it off.
Actually bounced over the line. Straight into the goal. Well, we haven't always seen the best of him, but they've seen something in Ajax and at Juventus and at Inter Milan and Barcelona and AC Milan and now Paris Saint-Germain. And they can't all be wrong. Wilshere's pass to Zaha. He's almost perfectly bisected the supporting Welbeck and Sturridge. Wilshere. Baines. Welbeck just couldn't quite lay claim to it. Sturridge does. Slip through Jack Wilshere. Leighton Baines. Well defended by the substitute. Sweden's night. Zlatan Ibrahimovic's night. They have a stadium, a stage worthy of top-class international football, maybe not a pitch, and they have a captain who belongs among the leading lights of international football. 4 goals. England were leading with 15 minutes to play here this evening, but they've been beaten. Joe Hart man enough to shake Zlatan Ibrahimovic's hand. That fourth goal was something to savour. What a night. Sweden 4, England 2.
This new stadium is called rather charmingly the Friends Arena. Maybe they should have gone for the Ibrahimovic Arena, because that was some performance. Zlatan Ibrahimovic for England 2. A performance not entirely without plus points for England, but there goes Roy Hodgson's unbeaten record, and England just undone by a world-class player. But then again, that is by definition, I suppose, always a risk at international level. We'll be back with a look back at that very shortly.